Hey listeners, today's episode of Back in Time is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/The Mariah Report. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Hi.
Here we are.
Still in the rainbow era.
We're still back in time in the rainbow era. Now, today we're going to discuss some very, very festive moments.
Of course.
Of course. So we're doing the awards that she won during that era.
Yeah.
One of them being the highest honor.
Yeah, well...
Billboard Artist of the Decade.
Mm-hmm. Where she gave us one of the best speeches.
Best speeches.
That
best
lambs,
speeches.
all the lambs agree on it.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really one of the best speeches ever.
And also, the Rainbow album, like this part, the tail end of the Rainbow era, when she started getting these awards, is also like the cap of the entire decade of her career.
It really is. It sort of like wraps everything up really nicely.
Yeah.
And it really solidifies her, her legendary status.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're gonna go over today, guys.
Yeah. I've just been so loving the Rainbow era so much again.
I know. It's really had a resurgence with us, and I think a lot of our listeners too.
Yeah.
It's just so great to go back to that era and all the performances and all the great interviews and she did so much during that era. She was really on top of things.
Yeah, all those good photo shoots too.
Oh my God, amazing.
I know.
It doesn't get any better.
It does not.
No. I was just watching, she did the Rosie show.
Mm-hmm.
She did the Today show. She did all kinds. She did everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And great performances, too.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave us varied performances. Like, she gave us the Heartbreaker. She gave us the Petals. She gave us, the remix. She gave us everything. The Thank God I Found You. She really teased us with a little bit of everything from this album in her live performances, which they're all amazing.
I know.
Great. And we've mentioned that before.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where she cleans up.
Yeah, she basically everything except for the Grammys, but the Grammys don't matter anymore. They're boring.
Yeah, we don't need those.
We don't need them anyways. They're just backup. She just has them just to say she has them.
Yeah,
she doesn't need them. So let's start with one of them, the World Music Awards.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was a nice one
because it also her decade of reigning queen happened to coincide with the millennium switchover.
Exactly.
1999 into 2000.
Mm-hmm. And the World Music Awards have always, obviously, because she's a worldwide diva, they've always, praised her and have given her accolades. Mm-hmm. But this was a big one.
Yeah.
So she accepted this award. She was the female recipient of the Artist of the Millennium, and Michael Jackson was the male recipient this year.
Pretty big deal.
I have to say, first of all, this is a completely and totally bizarre experience for me to be receiving the award for Artist of the Millennium. Hello. It's the same award that Michael Jackson is receiving. He's been making #1 records prior to my birth. He's truly a legend, and I just feel blessed to be here tonight. The funny thing is, I still actually feel like that little girl living on a mattress on the floor, making a demo tape and just trying to get heard. And there's a lot of those people out there. So everybody out there, keep your head up. If you're working towards a dream, don't give up and don't stop. I would like to thank the World Music Awards for supporting me for so long. Thank you, Prince Albert, especially. Thank you, God, for carrying me through a lot of desperate situations in my career and in my personal life, in fact. And I truly believe I have survived because of you and my fans around the world. I love you, and I always will.
That was pretty big.
Yeah.
It was good. I thought she looked gorgeous.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
she had those cute shoes on.
She did.
The tiny little dress, nice chest moments, the straight hair.
Did the hair have a little bit of volume in it, though?
I think so.
Like, it wasn't so flat.
It wasn't, well,
Flat.
It wasn't like flat. I don't think her hair's. I don't think her hair's been flat. Maybe it has. I don't know. Maybe some of those recent wigs are flat, but not back in '99. Not back in that time.
So the speech was a good-ish speech. Like, she was more humbled about the fact that Michael Jackson was also getting it.
Right. Yeah, she mentioned that she was introduced, or I guess like presented by the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Like, I don't know their names, but they were there giving her this award. And she mentioned how Michael Jackson, she's like, he's been making number ones before I was even born. I can't believe this is what I'm receiving, like, right next to him.
I know.
Which is a huge, huge honor.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like it. I mean, I guess the World Music Awards, they're not like Grammys, I suppose, but like they're still accepted worldwide. Yeah. Everybody watches them. They're a very well-known organization.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
You know, it's a big deal. So it's not like, you know, the Long Island Music Hall of Fame was, you know, giving her an award next to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Not that that would be anything to...
Although I remember watching it, and I kind of felt like Michael Jackson's award was separate for some reason. Like, it felt like it wasn't the same award, but it was the same award. He had a more dramatic entrance.
He had a more dramatic thing. It was all a big hoopla for him.
It was like smoke coming around.
You know, because you know he was the male diva.
Yeah.
He had to be. It's very mysterious, very Michael Jackson. You know, Mariah just came out looking cute as hell.
I know.
And she gave her little speech. I thought, and she had her notes written on like a little scrap of paper.
Yeah.
And I always and I feel like maybe she was a little nervous during this.
Yeah.
A little, which is understandable. I'd be nervous too.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
I'd be up there in front of all these people, like, what do I say? What do I do? Like, I don't know. Like, just, hi, thank God.
Wait, I just had a flashback. Wasn't there, like, some sort of kerfuffle, like her dress ripped and she needed a seamstress backstage? And I'm, like, making that into a big diva antic situation?
Did you hear this in an interview?
I think I just had it right then. I remember something happened backstage, and it was at the World Music Awards, and she needed a seamstress because the dress broke, or she had to get sewn into a dress.
Okay.
And they were acting like she turned up demanding a seamstress, and it turned into this huge deal. And she's like, I just needed a freaking seamstress.
Okay, I am not
just
quite sure.
that.
But the only time I remember something like that happening...
Is that what happened?
Is at the American Music Awards when she sang Don't Forget About Us.
No. It was way earlier.
Okay. It's totally possible, but I remember when she was doing it and she had to hold the side of her dress together. So maybe it's happened more than once. We know she's had like the wardrobe malfunctions right before going up on awards.
Yes.
From the Whitney moment to that moment to all these moments. So there's always a moment.
I think I remember that happening now.
It's totally possible. I don't recall.
Yeah. I remember she was in Morocco. That's why it was a problem. And she didn't have a seamstress.
I guess that probably was. I'd have to go back into the archives and look.
Yeah.
If Lambs, if you know it, if you know the interview, you've seen it, send it our way. Send it our way. Refresh our memory. Mariah and her wardrobe moments. What can you do?
Hey, Dan, I'm excited because we have found a sponsor that our listeners will love. It's audible.com, and it's the world's largest collection of audiobooks.
I know. It's amazing. If you go to audibletrial.com/The Mariah Report, you will get 30-day free trial plus an automatic download of any book of your choosing, all for free.
Oh my God, perfect. And cancel anytime.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's even better than canceling at any time? You get to keep your book even if you cancel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And if you don't like a book, they will let you exchange it for free.
That's perfect.
Yeah, because you know when you buy like an actual book and you're 2 chapters in and you're like, done, over it, I don't like it. This is not what I thought it was.
I know. And here's why it's better than actually buying books. Because if you hate it, you don't have to deal with returning it.
Right? And then you just got a pile collecting dust
exactly.
of books. You know what else I love about Audible is that the A-list celebrities, when they do like an autobiography or if they do a book, they narrate it themselves.
Our friend Craig Seymour has a book on there.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I might have to cue that up right away.
Yeah.
All right, guys, go get your free trial and your free audiobook at audibletrial.com/The Mariah Report.
Let's talk about her American Music Award
Yes.
moment.
Exactly. Because this was another really great speech.
Yes.
Another really great speech, but for different reasons than what most speeches are.
Well, she started with she opened the show.
Yes, she did.
With Thank God I Found You remix with Joe and Nas.
Yes.
Oh, was someone else there?
No, I just think a lot of dancers.
The dancers, right?
Yeah, just a lot of dancers just all over the place.
And she switched outfits mid
Yeah,
song.
she gave us like the true diva style,
which I love.
Wardrobe change.
Yes.
You know, not the tearaway wardrobe change, a full wardrobe change in the middle of the song.
Yeah, but I really liked the black leather look on her.
I did too. I liked both of those looks.
Yeah.
She just looked really good that night. Okay, before we get into the speech, though, let's talk about what she wore for the speech, for the acceptance of this.
Those two squares in a string.
I mean, at the time, I was like, oh my God, yes. You know, I mean, I don't know. I still really like it. I think it's an iconic. I think for fans, it's an iconic like wardrobe.
Well, I kind of forget about it, but looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the boobs were new.
Yeah, they were good though.
They were good.
I mean, she looked so good. I really liked it. I was just afraid that something was going to fall out or something. That's what I was worried about.
Because it looks like just one piece of string is holding everything together.
One piece of string. Someone could walk by and cut that, and honey, you're naked. Yeah. Boom. Right there.
At the music award. At the American Music
in front of Olivia Newton-John and the children in the front row.
Yeah. So it was a cute speech. So Olivia, her idol, her pal.
Yes. Presented her with this award.
The Australian lady presented her with the American Music Award.
Mariah Carey is truly deserving of this honor. I don't know where to start, but I'll try. She's the only artist in rock and roll history to have a #1 single in every year of a decade. She has more #1 singles than any other solo female artist, 14 in all. She surpassed the Beatles for total weeks at #1 in the pop singles charts. She sold over 128 million records worldwide and is the best-selling artist of our time. I'm so thankful that this talented young woman has shared her talent with the world. I love her. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present the American Music Award of Achievement to Mariah Carey.
But Olivia's she's had American hits.
She's an honorary.
Yeah,
American.
she's beloved.
An icon, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the award was basically for like just special achievement.
Yes.
A lifetime achievement.
Yeah.
And she accepted the award, and then she, I loved how she was just like paused for a moment, and someone was like saying, "Oh, I love you," and she's like, "What's up?" It was super cute.
Yeah.
But basically, the whole speech was about, yes, Mariah has accomplished so much in her career, and she's very grateful for it, very humbled for it.
Yeah.
But I remember watching this thinking, oh my God, I'm going to start crying because she had the two little girls from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Well, she opened with like saying, when I was a kid, I had a wish.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So she made it thematic.
Yes, it went. There was a through line for it. It was very well planned and spoken. But she had the two little girls who had a wish.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation, which give kids a wish when they're
terminally ill and
not going to be around for long.
All of that. So, and she's been working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation for many, many years, practically her whole career, probably since like at least the early 90s.
Yeah.
And she's been given a lot of awards and Wish Granter of the Year for them and blah, 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 all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so she had the two little girls up front because their dream was to, be it at an award show or meet Mariah or whatever it is. And Mariah, I guess, like went over the top and she's like, you can sit in my seats. Yeah. And, she made the audience get up and applaud these girls. And then Mariah says, their achievements are much greater than mine. And I was like, oh my God, yes, girl, give it to them.
I know.
And I just want to say one little thing. What's up? When I was a little girl, I made a wish that one day I would be singing and writing professionally, and I love you too. and doing what I love for a living. And you know, like, I never really imagined that it could get to this level. I mean, who's gonna think it could get to this level where I would be sitting here with so many incredibly talented people? But tonight, I'm not sitting in my seat because there are 2 kids here who also made a wish. And we're all making it come true tonight. I'd like to thank Titiana Charles, right there, and Colleen Wright from the Make-A-Wish Foundation for their courage and their strength. Can we please give them a hand? Can we get up and stand up for these beautiful girls? Can we stand up for these girls? And I would like to accept this award on behalf of them because their achievements are a lot more special than mine. Thank you very much. I love you and I love my fans. Good night. Thank you.
It's sort of like, sometimes when I watch it, it gives me chills because it just shows you.
She gets it.
She gets it. She understands it.
She gets to that the achievements and what all
and
these
she's very
awards and the
grateful.
charts and that shit. Yeah,
But what does it all really mean?
exactly.
Nothing.
Which is why when the Grammys don't give her an award, she's like, whatever.
Whatever. Who cares?
Who cares, yeah.
What does it mean? What is it getting? What is it doing for me?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's great to be acknowledged by your peers and things of that nature, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
So I just love that Mariah took this huge moment and gave it to someone else.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, Adele, you can say, oh, Beyonce, here you go. This is yours. But like Mariah gave it to somebody who isn't a celebrity, who isn't a star. She gave them their moment.
Yeah.
And it's so sweet. It's really, really, that's why I love Mariah. I wish we would see more of that.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, but back then we saw it all the time. But
Well, I'm sure for the kids, that was such a
it was huge.
enormous thrill. It's almost like it's like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like, we know Santa Claus isn't real and it's all kind of nonsense and fun. But to the kids, this is like a real exciting thing.
This made their day. This made their life.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So yeah, that would have been like
They were dancing on the ceiling.
Exactly. Yeah.
As our friend Lionel would say. Then right after the awards, Mariah went to the Rosie show where she performed Petals, which we talked a little bit about, that gorgeous performance.
The best pedals she's ever done.
Oh, the best Petals.
Yeah.
The best Petals. Even though she's performed it recently, like on the Chanteuse tour.
I know, which we forgot to
like-
mention because it was so. We went back and looked at it. And like, this is why we.
This
forgot
is why
this.
we did not mention it, or this is why we forgot to talk about it, because it was one of the worst lip syncs
ever.
I mean, if she was on RuPaul's Drag Race with that performance of Petals from Chanteuse tour, she would sashay away and never be seen again. She would be like just. She'd be over. I'm so glad that we are totally bringing up the bad things, but she just did not do that any justice. She should not have even tried it.
Well, she literally pushed play on the CD.
Yeah.
So we've all lip synced to that song.
Right. I lip synced to it, especially in the past few weeks, many a times.
It wasn't good. She's like patting the pillow like it's a cat, and then she switches mics halfway through.
Yeah, she just takes one mic, and then she's like, you know what? I'm going to use this one instead. And it doesn't matter because the CD is still playing. It was the funniest thing ever when you watch that. It is so hysterical.
But she's got to take it seriously because this is where fans get mad because it's a sacred song.
Exactly.
And now she's just fucking around.
Exactly. Now you're not giving us that specialness of the song, like what she did on the Rosie show and on the Rainbow tour. If you're going to do a song like that, you can't mess with it. You can't mess around with it.
Yeah, because
like you got to give us the emotion.
Because when you give people that kind of song, it becomes their song. And now you're gonna fuck up with that. You know, you're fucking around with that song.
Yeah.
That's my song.
That's my song, girl. What you do to my song?
Yeah.
How you gonna fuck my song up? You know, it's just
It's our song, and now you're not taking it seriously.
Right, and now we think that you don't care.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
Right. It's like, oh, okay. Well, if you don't care, then why should I?
Exactly. See, that's.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Not to say, but I'm just saying.
This is where like cracks happen in the relationship with the fans.
Right. Exactly.
Because there's a lot of cracking going on right now.
There's a lot of cracking. But back in time, in 1999,
anyway. We were.
Or actually, she performed this in 2000, is early 2000. But it was just a beautiful, beautiful rendition of Petals. And when she was on the Rosie O'Donnell show, she then performed and she did the interview, and they talked about the dress. Mm-hmm. And then they talked about...
at the American Music Awards, yeah.
Yeah, the American Music Awards. They talked about the dress she wore.
Yeah, and Rosie calling it skanky dress. What did she calling it something?
She called it skanky, I think.
Skanky, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what she called it.
Now listen, I want to talk to you right here.
Oh, dear.
American Music Awards. Hello, trampy dress. Hello.
Rosie,
you have a beautiful... Wait a minute.
I have something to say.
Okay, all right.
For the first 5 or 6 or 7 years of my career, they made me wear a top up to here and things like this. And I want to show my body in a dress. I'm gonna show it.
All right, but honey, thank you.
And I'm very conservatively dressed today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You have a very nice body, but I don't need to see it at 8 p.m. Look at this.
It wasn't 8 p.m. It was 10.
Oh, it was. All right. But it's, I don't
And
mind.
I will say this.
Yeah.
In the dressing room,
Yeah.
it looked like straight on, and it didn't seem to be a problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that when it was angled a certain way, you got a little more of a view, all right?
Yes.
So I will say that.
When I saw it, I started singing, hello, Mariah. Well, hello.
Well, excuse me, I'm not the only one on that show that wore revealing ensemble, so...
And Mariah, that's when Mariah clapped back.
Yeah.
Before clapping back was clapping back, she literally clapped, I got something to say.
Yeah.
And she went on, and she was very right. It's like, compared to what most people are wearing, and Mariah's a grown woman.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's showing up at the playground in that.
Exactly,
with kids. She's going to an adult thing, whatever. She can wear whatever she wants. I loved it. I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. But she also talked about the reason she did what she did for those little girls.
When I got this award for the AMAs, there were the 2 girls from the Make-A-Wish Foundation there. And that was a really nice thing that I felt like I was accepting the award, but I wanted to give them that night because I don't know if we're all aware of what the Make-A-Wish Foundation does, but we can explain it. They take children who are sometimes terminally ill and they grant them their wish, which is sometimes to talk to a celebrity or just even have a phone call or to meet somebody or whatever. So I thought it would be nice to just put them in the seat so that way they could have a better wish than whatever. And instead, actually, it's really sad because one of the girls, Colleen, recently passed away after this. So she did get her wish and 10 times more because the whole place stood up and applauded for her. So I felt really good about that. But my point is, everybody makes such a big deal about the dress. Can't we focus on, human beings and who has a good heart and who doesn't and who's, trying to do something more than just stand there and glorifying themselves? Hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
It was more about, I feel like using those places to be able to
All right,
kind
just
of
wait. Now I feel
example.
bad about the trampy comment. I do. I feel really bad.
And that was just so sweet. And it's so true and honest and humbled. She's just the greatest. And that poor little young woman passed away.
Yeah.
But rest in peace.
Well, she had a thrill.
She did. Mariah gave her her moment to shine. And that's what matters. So that was a really great moment. That whole thing, that whole early 2000s was really good.
Yeah. So the next award we're going to talk about is the biggie.
Oh my gosh.
Which
this is the greatest.
Yeah. So it's the
Billboard Music Awards.
I always want to say Blockbuster. I keep mixing those two up. What happened to Blockbuster?
They just went out of business.
But they went away, right?
Oh, they went out of business.
What do you do with the award once they
don't exist anymore?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just chuck it out?
Oh no, Mariah decorates her house with them or keeps them in storage.
She probably,
something.
When you don't want the wind to blow the door shut. So you
Oh
put something
yeah,
on
like
the floor, a doorstop.
Doorstop.
Yeah.
A paperweight.
Yeah.
Because she did receive one of those Blockbuster awards, and she performed during the Rainbow era there, and that was great. And Stevie Wonder presented her.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, and she performed "Can't Take That Away," which was great. One of our favorite moments, which we talked about in part 2, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can go back and listen to that if you have not yet. But
the
Billboard Awards. Now, let me just set the stage here, because this was, from my recollection, Mariah had the album had sort of just came out. This was in December of '99.
Yeah.
Top of December. She had just done the Homecoming special.
Yep.
So we're riding high off of all of that.
Yeah.
And I have always been an award show junkie, because I'm always like, is Mariah going to show up?
Right.
Is Mariah nominated? What's going on? So I've always loved award shows. This particular one, I did not know Mariah was attending, because I remember specifically sitting there watching it and just, enjoying my life, not thinking, okay, I don't have anything to worry about because Mariah's not here.
Right.
I don't have to have my VCR. I don't have to be taping this. I'm fine. Mariah's not here because obviously they would just announce if the biggest star is coming.
Yeah.
And they did not announce her because it was all a surprise.
Uh-huh.
So look at me and my little gay ass laying on the couch. Out comes Patti LaBelle. I'm still not putting two and two together here.
Yeah.
Patti LaBelle comes out and I'm like, okay, hey, queen.
Yeah.
And then she names like all the big people who were like the artists
of the decade.
Who were like huge, from Aerosmith, Garth Brooks, Madonna, Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
I was like, where'd that come from? Janet, Shania Twain.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all of these acts, and even though I know Mariah is like the biggest, I'm thinking, oh, Garth Brooks, this is going to Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Because they were like crazy for him.
Yeah. He's still like the biggest selling.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm like,
Physicals.
This is totally Garth Brooks. Like, whatever. I should just, I should go, get a splash break.
Yep.
I wasn't even 21 yet. Okay. So then right after they introduce the nominees.
They do the video. Yeah.
And then Patti says, here's a hint.
Uh-oh.
And the first thing she said is, I think she said, this person has the record for most weeks at number 1. And I was like, bitch, what you say? That's not, is that Mariah? And she goes on, and then she says the first, and then I think she messed up because she couldn't read the teleprompter, and she said that this artist wrote their first song at age 4. I think she meant to say 14.
Yeah, or started singing at age 4.
Or something like that. Uh-huh. I was like, okay, girl, I don't think nobody was writing at that point, but okay.
Songs.
Or whatever. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh my God, I think this might be Mariah. Uh-huh. I don't know. And then she said again, and I was like, holy F. And I had to like fly out of the couch, grab a VCR tape, shove it in the VCR, and press all the buttons. And I was like, ah! And I was dying. But as soon as Mariah like got like halfway down the stairs, like it was recording. So I got it. And I rewatched it 1 billion times.
Oh, yeah.
1 billion times. So much that the VCR tape actually cut.
Oh, no.
In half, and I taped that shit together. Taped it together, and I kept watching it. I mean, it was like, I couldn't see that chunk of footage, but it still worked. Yes. Okay, so Mariah comes out to the fanfare.
Well, my story of seeing it.
Okay.
Because I couldn't watch. They didn't play the Billboard Awards.
That's right.
So I had to go to Mariah Daily or whatever it was at the time. And download it, and it takes like 15 hours. Yeah, exactly. Like 100 years to get it. I'm like, what's so... Because I think that somehow I was getting buzz about it. I was like, what is so good about this speech? So I'm like waiting forever to get it. Then I watch it, and the first thing I saw was like, this is a real treacherous staircase she's coming down. In those little itty-bitty heels.
The danger.
I was like, she could just tumble all the way down.
In that tiny little dress that looks like a napkin on her.
I know.
I mean, it looks gorgeous, but it's like literally like a hand-sewn little dress.
And I just rewatched it, and there's this... as she's coming down, she's holding everybody's hand, like holding herself up. Some dude kisses her hand, and she like has this look like, oh, gross.
Oh, God. It was a flashback to me a month earlier kissing her hand.
Anyway, so she makes it down. She gets to the stage. She can barely get up on the stage.
I know, right? Yeah. It's like that again, that tiny little dress.
She like needs someone to like hoist her up, pretty much.
And all the while, there's all of that confetti.
The whole thing.
Confetti, it's so much confetti. Yeah. Like it's huge, and they're playing Heartbreaker.
I know, there's too much already.
And there's so much going on.
Nothing's even happened
yet. Yeah. She hasn't even like hit the stage.
I just remember. So I was still like new to I don't even know if I knew I was a lamb.
Right, because you just sort of didn't know.
Just wasn't sure what was happening. As in, like,
wasn't sure what's going on
with myself.
Still, like making my transition.
Yeah.
Oh. This is all very surreal to me because it seems like not so long ago that I was a kid in high school with a demo tape and a lot of determination and just really the desire to hear my songs on the radio. I mean, I didn't know about platinum or gold records or like what you had to sell to get them. I mean, I didn't even know about the Billboard charts. Sorry, but I didn't know. And then it all happened so fast, and it's like my life became public. I lived in the recording studio, writing and singing, and that's how I made so many records in so little time, pretty much having no life. But I'd like to thank my mom for inspiring me, and thank Don Einer and all my Columbia Records family for so much support. And I'd like to thank all the amazingly dedicated Sony people around the world. And obviously, I have to thank Tommy Mottola for his support, specifically during the beginning of my career. And I have to thank everyone at Maroon Entertainment for their unparalleled dedication. I've been traveling around the world, right, you know, promoting Rainbow, my new album, and it's kind of like my message of hope for the new millennium, and it's been so moving to see so many devoted fans in continents where we don't even speak the same language, where people are singing back the lyrics to me that I wrote, and that means so much to me because I put all of myself into my music. So as a writer and as a producer, I thank you, and I'm so grateful to God to have overcome so many obstacles as a multiracial person with a very dysfunctional history until recently. I am not Cinderella. My life has not been a fairy tale. Forget the image, forget the ensembles, forget the rumors, forget the short skirts, big hair, whatever. I owe this to the fans, and I will never forget you. So I want to accept this award on behalf of all of you. You've come a long way, and I feel like I'm just getting started. Because as an artist, and most importantly, as a person, I am genuinely happy and finally free to be who I really am. Thank you.
I remember by the end of the speech, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Like,
I get it.
Jaw dropped.
Yeah.
Chills, a tear running down your eye. I mean, it was like amazing.
My initial takeaway was she was just basically saying, fuck you. I did it.
I did it.
I'm done.
I'm
done.
Did this
I'm
shit.
doing what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
It's me and my fans.
Right. And that is what I love about it.
And I was like, I'm a fan.
Oh my God.
That's me.
It really is. And, you know, I'd seen all the other Mariah speeches from, you know, the early days, and I've seen them all since. Nothing has ever compared to this.
No.
Nothing has even come close. I mean, the American Music Awards with the two little girls, that was pretty good. But this one really encaptured, whatever you want to call it, like the essence of her career, her connection with her fans, and her passion. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even like rewatching it now, it's a speech where she really managed to make it feel like we won.
Yes. It's us.
Yeah.
It's us against the world.
Yeah.
It's us against those record label executives.
And the haters.
Us and the haters and F
But it's
them.
still like that. Like we're still in this battle that never ends. Like,
I know.
Mariah can't sing anymore. Mariah's done.
Oh, don't get me started.
Like all of it's like, no. She
No.
can.
You listen to me,
Yeah.
mister. Okay. But let's talk a little bit about the speech and what she said in it, because it's really so well done. Now, obviously, if you look closely, she's reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine because this is a long speech.
And we get multiple shots of J-Lo gawking at her.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But that's before the whole glitter thing.
Oh, yeah.
Before Mariah
All
and
of
her
that.
were like,
Yeah.
you know.
J-Lo was new to the scene.
Yeah, she's absolutely brand new. And there was no she
First
clearly.
album just came out.
Yeah. She definitely didn't know her then.
No.
Still don't know her.
Oh, yeah.
But the way the speech just unfolded was so great because she really started talking like from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like I just was a little girl, you know, who wanted to hear my songs on the radio, and you know, she didn't know anything about the Billboard Awards. Sorry, but she didn't know.
Yeah.
And you know, and how it came and it grew, and just everybody along the way. And she thanked Tommy Mottola.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Specifically,
for the beginning
of my career.
Yeah.
I am telling you, I could probably still to this day say that speech with the inflections that she does to a T. I've watched it so many times. I'm not going to.
I could rehearse. I need to rehearse it, but I could probably do it.
But I could probably do it still, honestly. because I've literally watched it a million billion times.
I don't know what resonated so much about, like, if that really made an impact, this speech.
I think so. I think
Actually, let's send some lamb homework. Guys at home, tell us what you love about the speech and what is it?
What did you love about it? What did
it
make you feel? How did it change your view or help your view of Mariah or whatever?
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is I've seen all of her speeches before and after, and this one in particular is so good because, number one, she says a lot in it.
Yeah.
But number two, her enthusiasm, her, you could see that she really was feeling it herself. Like, even when she first stood up to the podium and she was like, woo, woo, whatever. She
Exhausted from that climb down the stairs.
It was crazy. Like, she really, really was feeling it. So it was like the energy that she was getting from the crowd, from just the moment, to how huge this award is. I mean, Artist of the Decade.
It's like a part of it that seems like aggressive in the speech. Like, she's almost yelling at us. Mm-hmm. And she's kind of, I don't want to say she's over it. She's gives no more fucks. She's like, here's how I did it. Deal with it.
And then one of our favorite parts, Martin, is the big hair, short skirts, whatever, because we used to have that in our intro a long time ago when we were the Lamely meeting.
But she even used it in her trailer for Mariah's World.
Oh, yes, she did. Yeah. There were actually a couple of things in those trailers that we actually never saw on the show.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
That's another story.
Because we're in the moment right now.
Yeah.
This is the good shit right here. Okay. But then she talks about the connection with the fans.
Yes.
And how she was out promoting this Rainbow album. And again, this is only just a few years after, like,
Butterfly.
Butterfly and the emancipation from Tommy and everything, where she really could feel that connection with the outside world because she was so secluded before. And now she can really, like, interact with fans and she can hear their stories and she can, and when they sing back the lyrics that she wrote.
In other countries that don't speak the language.
Right. Yeah. It's like she was finally able to really feel her impact on the world. And that's huge.
Yeah.
That's so huge. And I think that's another reason why this speech is so memorable for us and for Mariah and why she was so into it, because she finally was experiencing what her talent was doing for people, the impact it had.
She wasn't letting it blow up her ego. She was extremely grateful for it.
Yes.
And you could tell the way she yelled at us through this speech.
Yeah.
You get it. Like, oh my God, yeah, we did it, Mariah.
Right? And then right at the end when she's like, she's like, but I feel like I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
And it was so true because, like I said, she was finally growing into who she really wanted to be as an artist.
Yes.
And she finally had that freedom. But now we know what came right after that was Glitter, which I think is artistically amazing, but,
we know what happened.
Culturally, we know what happened. But it says so much because this really did, the end of the 1990s into 2000, the end of the Rainbow era, and then everything after it is like two different worlds when you look at Mariah's 27 years of career.
Yeah, completely different worlds.
It's so crazy. But it shows you that, when Mariah was saying in that speech, like, I finally have the freedom to be who I am and, make the music I want, it was so true because we see how drastically different it is. I guess drastically isn't necessary, but how different it is.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I love that about her because it shows her versatility and, her passion for writing and music.
Well, I think the Rainbow era gets buried between Butterfly and then Glitter forward. You forget it because nothing super interesting happened except all these big awards. But it wasn't that big dramatic shift that Butterfly was, and it wasn't the crash of Glitter.
Right.
So it gets lost in that middle part.
Yeah. I see that.
I think by digging it up, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot all about this stuff.
I mean, there's so much. There's so many great moments.
In the grand scheme of things, it gets lost.
Because I think you're right. It does get lost because it wasn't, it wasn't the album that sold 10 million copies.
Yeah.
It wasn't Butterfly, which is, the, R&B influenced, reemergence of the real Mariah. It's not the catastrophe of Glitter. It's
Nothing
not the
bad happened in it.
resurgence of, the emancipation of Mimi.
Yeah.
It was just like this great
Just a
little
good
gem
album.
right in the middle. And it gets like forgotten about, but it's great, and I love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to hear what the lambs out there think about this Billboard speech, because it is, you want to talk about an iconic moment of Mariah's career.
She'll never top it.
Never. She could never.
No.
Because it was so well done. Perfection. I still get chills
No, me too.
all the time.
Yeah. I just watched it and
Yeah. Big hair, short skirts,
bounce-
whatever.
yeah, bounce
This
it
is for
around.
the fans.
Yeah.
And I will never forget you.
which is kind of sad because I feel like she's forgetting us a little bit. I think she needs to watch her own speeches.
She might have to. However, I do agree that she may have forgotten about the fans a little bit, but her world is so different now.
With the kids,
like with the
obviously.
kids.
Yeah.
I think Mariah always longed for unconditional love,
Yeah.
and she got a lot of that from her fans.
Yeah.
And so she was always, saying how much she appreciated. Now she has it from her kids. So it's like, it's all going there now,
Yeah.
So sometimes us as fans, we can feel forgotten. Just saying.
Yeah.
Because when you look back at moments like this, it's just like, this is the best.
Okay, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up our Rainbow Saga for now, I guess. We could dig it up another time, maybe.
Of course. There's
not?
always rainbow moments
Yeah.
to be discussed.
Yeah.
But I love all the feedback we've been getting.
Yeah.
On our social media, we've been getting a lot of emails at mariahreport@gmail.com. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, The Mariah Report. Let us know your favorite moments from Glitter and what you thought
Not
of
glitter,
these.
rainbow.
Oh my God, rainbow.
Wrong era.
Sometimes I'm just talking. I don't even know what I'm saying. I have no clue. Remember the other week when I was like, welcome to the Lemony meeting. And I was like, girl, what decade am I in? Anyways, that means we need to wrap it up because
right.
my mind is crazy. Okay. But anyways.
Yeah. So, again, thanks for listening. Share with your friends, please. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.